Hello guys, I hope you are doing well. Welcome to the Gracie channels, and we are going to a different phase of our impact into the community, and this is the concept of heritage and how heritage and community activities are intertwined. I strongly believe that we can only best serve people if we understand their core identity, and we understand their core identity when we understand the heritage. And the best way to understand the heritage is to go and see and get the story from the key landmark of those environments, because this is what tells the story of what has happened for thousands of hundreds of years. So we have taken decision to go with Cantilish first, and we had some few conversation with some of the key change maker in the community in Cantilish, but also we did not want to escape going to see the landmarks in Cantilish. So we have a few visits with the Imo Court Garden, which is a beautiful home, and that was one owned by the English. We had the Heho Garden, who the house was burned down a few hundred years ago and now still is maintained by the state because it represents one of the key landmarks in the history of people in Cantilish. And then we have the museum, and we have the famous Rock of Dynamis. I hope you really enjoyed this, and one key thing that I find that I would say is that our identity is based on our heritage, and we can only serve our community, and even as migrant that as us going to serve a community if we have a better understanding of the history and the heritage of the environment. So I hope you enjoy this. Thank you. Hello there, good morning. It's a sunny day. Look at the back of me now. Right now, I'm actually in Abilix. All right, so see, this is the fourth heritage houses that I'm going to check. So I'm going in there to figure out exactly what this is about. All right, and what's the story of this building here. All right, thank you. Stay tuned for more stories on heritage, on the community in Lish, and understanding the story behind those heritage. Thank you. Hi guys, I'm inside here, the Abilix Heritage House, is it? And it's not what you expected when you come from the outside. It looks, as usual, an old stony building, but has a history behind it. But as a foreigner, even though I was living here for 25 years, I don't know anything, guys. So I have here the lovely Heather. He's here. She's not going to be on camera because I'm always have this bad habit of bumping into people and asking them questions, and most people are not camera prepared, so she's not being rude but not showing herself. She just wasn't prepared. Okay, now but she's going to tell us a little bit more about this building and the story, and we're going to do a little tour. And remember what I say about heritage. Heritage is the identity of the local, and if you want to better serve the community, in which is why we are in this channel, you need to know about the story. All right, because story makes people's identity. All right, thank you. So now we are going to listen a little bit about what this place is about, and then we're going to take a tour. All right, thank you. All right, so Heather, so tell us a little bit about the place and what exactly is the Heritage House in Abilix. Who is the owner? How did this happen? It seems, and the way it's built and the stones, you can see that is the hundreds of years, right? I'm not wrong, yeah? So let's talk about it.
So this building was originally a private school, actually. So
oh wow.
Yeah, it was built in an school out in Stupper Hill in Abilix, but the school wasn't suitable anymore, so they decided to build it here.
Okay.
So this school was kind of commissioned really by Lady Emma de Vesey. So she would have been the wife of Thomas de Vesey. He was the third Viscount de Vesey of Abilix.
Okay.
So the de Vesey family, they essentially planned the town of Abilix. So Abilix would be an estate town.
Okay.
So around...
And with the de Vesey, you said the de Vesey, were they Irish origin or English?
And I think they would have been English.
The Lord. The ancient.
No,
yeah.
I think there could be a French connection there as well. I'm not 100% sure. But they were landlords.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So they would have got kind of lands around Abbeyleix through marriage, actually. One
Okay.
of their ancestors, I think her name was Mary Vesey, because they
Okay.
changed it from Vesey to the Vesey when they got a title in the peerage.
All right.
So she married a Musham. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing his name right, so I apologize.
Yeah.
So through that marriage, they ended up getting the lands of Abbeyleix.
Okay. The whole land.
Yeah,
Pretty much
all the
everywhere.
lands around, yeah.
Mm.
And around, say, the late 18th century, they started building the town.
Mm.
So one of their ancestors planned this town, and from there, they built it.
Okay.
At around the same time, they also built Abbeyleix House. So that would be a couple of miles outside the town, kind of
Okay.
if you're on your way to Rathdowney, that direction.
Okay.
So they built that, I think it was around the 1770s that they started building that.
Okay. Yeah.
So the Vesey family, pretty much, they actually did an awful lot for Abbeyleix. They were, they were out on their own in terms of, landlords at the time. Because if you look at other landlords around Laois, their history, it wasn't that great. But the Veseys, they would be definitely more highly regarded
Okay.
locals.
So the contribution that they brought to the
yeah, they did
their
put
contribution,
in
yeah.
a lot of work, a lot of effort, in fairness. So Lady Emma, she was actually quite charitable. She was very modern thinking for her time.
Yeah.
So she was kind of involved in getting this building built, and she also set up Abbeyleix Baby Linen Society. So this was quite, well, I would say, revolutionary for in time. But what it was that tenants that were, it wasn't everyone, certain tenants of the Vesey family, they would have been given like an allowance for baby clothes
Okay.
if they had a child. So they would have been supported by the Veseys, and they would have had to pay some of it back afterwards to return it. But it was kind of a donation of good faith, really.
Okay.
And yeah, so the Veseys, they really did put in an awful lot into Abbeyleix. There was a fountain. I don't know if you saw it, a fountain in the square of the town. There's a big kind of stone
Yeah.
here in the library.
Yeah.
That was built in honor of John Vesey,
Okay.
for his kind of help to the people during the famine. So
Alright.
they were held in high regard.
Okay. And that is amazing. So basically, the main building here it wasn't someone's house, like you see Imoko. It was a school, right?
No, now at what stage, I think, because this school originally, it was, teachers were lay people,
Okay.
but it was kind of, I think it was the 1930s, and patrician brothers came here. So they would have built a small extension, and they would have lived in the school.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, as far as I know, they were the only people.
The only people. And what happened over the years? Why did the school shut down? What happened to the school?
The school,
Because it's not considered a heritage house, so
yeah, so the school closed after several years, and eventually the boys' school and the girls' school here, they amalgamated into Skullware, so we had Skullware up the road.
up the way. Okay. And then so now this is used as a touristic,
Pretty much.
pretty
yeah.
much.
So-
And do you get people coming out throughout the year?
Yeah, no, we do. We
do have
actually
visits?
a lot of, kind of people coming from America. We get a couple of French tourists, Canadians, Australians, a lot of people that have a connection to Abbeyleix. So if they had ancestors here,
Okay.
maybe 100 years ago, they
Yeah.
came here kind of tracing family. So we do a bit of genealogy work as well. So say if you were, well, we do it for Irish people too, obviously, but if you had an ancestor that lived in Abbeyleix, you can, do a bit of research on them.
About that, yeah.
and kind of,
Yeah, so one thing I want to ask you is, if for example, like you say, there's people most of the people come, they had ancestry here and they want to, but if you want to make something more compelling, because I think the Laois and itself is amazing.
Yeah.
Like when you see the houses and the heritage, like you have the electric picnic there, you have a lot of amazing farms, a lot of green. And I always feel like it's a disservice in terms of tourism for Laois, where you see everybody going to Wicklow, who I don't necessarily feel like they're that different. You go to Kerry. So what could you see is the gap of making Laois more attractive apart from the festivals that are happening? Do you think there's more can be done? Like for this house, what can we do apart from talking about it like this to make people come back here?
I don't know. I think a lot of the time people forget what's on their doorstep. You know, I would be just as bad. You know, you pass by Kings every day and you kind of don't realize that we also have a lot to offer. And I think it's because, I don't know, I think tourism is very much pushed for areas, you know, like Wicklow or Kerry, and
because it's the
will get a lot of the traction. But no, I think we really just need to start appreciating what's around us, and you know, there is beauty and history, and you know, it really is just there in front of us. You just need to take notice, really, isn't
it? Yeah. So I want to thank you for taking your time to giving us this amazing talk. And I'm just going to do a little tour here, but how often are you open for people to come and see?
Yeah, so we're usually open Monday to Friday at 9 to 4:30.
Okay.
And then we're open most Saturdays from 10 to 2.
10 to 2. So you hear that. If you want to visit, you know what to do. All right. Lish is an amazing place. Guys, I wasn't expecting this, okay? So it's just so funny. Every time I go into those places, you don't know what's inside. This is really good. It's actually show a lot about really what it was, all right? So I suspect this is one of the bigger guy, Mr. Ivo Divisi. You heard about him?
So he was actually responsible for setting up the Aberdeen's carpet factory, and this is what this room is pretty much dedicated to, because we have 2 rooms here. We have this room and then we have the main hall. So the main hall is just pretty much a mix of everything. You'll find almost anything in there.
Okay.
But this room has a lot of original Aberdeen's carpets. So Ivo, he would have established his carpet factory in 1904 to create employment for local women in the town, because an awful lot of people were emigrating at the time or going further afield. They could have went to Dublin or something for work.
Yeah.
So Aberdeen's claim to fame, essentially, what I'd like to call it, is that this carpet factory made carpets for the Titanic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
The boat.
Yeah, so these women would have made carpets for the Titanic, and they're not sure exactly how many carpets were on it. Some people say there could have been 7 or 8 carpets, there could have been more, there could have been less, but there were a number of carpets that were made by the women of Aberdeen's.
Okay.
This kind of big beige kind of brown carpet, I believe that was in the Mansion House. So they would have had commissions not just in Ireland, but they would have also made carpets for Harrods department store in London. And at the time, they had a clerk for the carpet factory. His name was William Gillespie, and he actually died on the Titanic. He was going over on business to kind of expand the carpet factory clientele over to America or Canada. So,
wow. Now, one thing I am hearing a lot since I started visiting the Lish area is how this area was very industrious.
Yeah.
You hear about the embroidery, you hear about the, like now we hear about the carpet, the making of the carpet, we hear about the Quakers and the Jacobs, and you know, it's amazing how it's just become a quieter town as opposed to how it was a place where people had work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the motion is everything. Changed a small bit.
Yeah. So we're gonna go to the other room, right? So let's see what is this here. I see a lot of, is that the wool that you use for the carpet, yeah?
And yeah. No.
Oh, nice. Interesting.
We just decided to, and this was set up before my time, but just to kind of have a mock-up essentially of what, you know, the carpet making process. So these would have been kind of shears that they would have used to tidy up the carpets. These wouldn't have been the exact needles that they would have used, but they are similar. So these would have been latch hook needles.
Yeah.
And kind of a variation of this would have been kind of patented or patented by a neighbouring Viscount in Durham. So that would have been Viscount Eyre.
So tell me, when you were showing this to me, was it mostly handmade?
Yeah, pretty much. So they would have had kind of workbenches similar to this. They would have had, say, a foundation or something like that. They would have clamped it down, so you would have had a group of women working on a large carpet, and they would have inputted usually English wool into the foundation or the canvas.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
kind of at first, the designs would have been done in-house.
Okay.
So as far as I know now, it was a lady from Durham. So her name was Mary Broderick, and she would have done a lot of the designs. But kind of in later years, they would have sourced the designs externally.
Okay. When you said source, it means that the people from outside will do the design and they just do the handwork. Okay. Now this is really interesting. So we're going to a different room now, and
Oh yeah, this is a drawing of Abbey Leake's house. So this would have been the home of the Devesi family.
okay.
And this is
Where's that Abeli's house? Because I know it's somewhere here, right? So is he on the
Yeah.
corner there? Yeah.
it's actually outside the town a small bit, so you'd have
Yeah.
to go out.
Is he open to the public or someone owns it?
It's only open, I think, twice a year.
Twice
so
a
they
year.
might do a summer open day, and usually to do a kind of a Christmas market.
Okay. Okay. It'll be nice to see it actually.
Yeah, no, it's beautiful on the outside now.
Guys, you don't know what we are coming into now. This is something I didn't expect to see. So, wow. That is the sense of the history of people who lived here. Soon forgotten by technology, but we're here to keep it up. So, what is this?
So this is kind of a collection of everything, which I like to call it. But this is a lot of kind of artifacts or items that belong to the Devesi family.
Okay, handwritten journals, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have just a document from the carpet factory there as well. Yeah, most of this stuff in these two cases would have been, would have belonged to the Devesis. Now, not all, but
Yeah.
most. This one gets a lot of people talking.
Oh yeah, who is?
Yeah.
Is this someone that I know? The face is familiar.
Yeah.
Oh my word.
So this is an original copy of Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler. Now,
Okay.
why we have this here, which is where we get most questions. So one of the Devesis, it would have been John Devesi, the 6th Viscount Devesi.
Yeah.
He was actually a prisoner of war during World War II.
Okay.
And while he was while he was captured, he was given a copy of this.
Okay.
Yeah, so he would have been in, as far as I know, 2 prisoner of war camps.
Yeah.
So he was in one in Moosburg in Germany, and he was in O-Flag. O-Flag 79.
Yeah.
That was also in Germany. So a lot of the stuff in this case would have been things that he had in his time,
Yeah.
as well as we've other bits and pieces, like
Okay.
there's some war medals. We also have a medal from a local nurse, so her name would have been Mary O'Shea. So that's her midwifery medal, as far as I know. And she had a first-hand account of 1916 in Dublin.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we also have a lovely gas mask here as well.
The ancient gas masks. Yeah.
It really is a mix of.
Now, I think this is your most fascinating part of the house, right? Because I'm standing here wondering. You see this hut there? It's made out of like what? Stone or what? Wow.
Yeah.
And that would have belonged to the same guy, yeah?
I'm actually not sure. I think some of the bits are from different donators.
Yeah, so that's the
I know
helmet.
the bandolier and stuff here, they're different now.
Okay.
And those war medals are different as well.
Okay. So we're going to this nice little place over there. So let's see.
Yeah, this is our another mix of everything. So we have a lot of old books here, as well as we have a lovely Mrs. VC's board game set. We also have a Lucas daylight signal light. So some of these contraptions were from the Salesian College. It was either Salesian College or it was Ballyfin College. I think it was Ballyfin College.
Yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of those, you'll kind of see them scattered around the museum, would have been from their
Okay.
school.
Wow. And that's that little box at the bottom there.
Little box. Let's see.
Sorry.
They're fine. Yeah, so we just have a load of different bits in here. So this would have been old board game pieces as well.
Oh, okay. Wow. That says a lot about the history, and that talks to you about how things used to be.
Yeah.
And how human has evolved. You see the differences with the helmet over there. You're kind of like, wow, this was a human being putting that in their head, because it's quite heavy. You can see how heavy it is, yeah? So it's interesting. And here we have like a it seems like a
Yeah, so we kind of set
a
it up
workstation?
to be like a writing desk. So we just had copies of letters here. We also have an old typewriter and just a couple of books that we were donated over the years as well.
Okay.
And we also have a letter from the same makers of this Underwood, so we decided to frame it.
Yeah.
It's nice to kind of see, you know, even what correspondence would have looked like years ago.
Guys, for all of you using keyboards now and don't understand, this is how people used to write before. This is actually funny. Now, I'm a bit interested about letters. So these letters were a form of communication in the past, right? So I just want to know whose letter were there, do you know? And who they were writing? So it's like someone wrote a letter to someone and they kept it, or? Okay.
So this letter would have been to Viscount Vesey. You see the beautiful handwriting. So the date on this is actually it's either 1847 or 1849.
Yeah.
And that was from James Morrissey. So he would have had Morrissey's pub in Abbeydeix. So
Okay.
yeah, that would be quite well known in the area.
Okay.
It's one of the oldest pubs around.
Thank you guys for being with us here at this house, and stay tuned as I go around other counties and figure out what's going on in there. All right. So as I said, we are all about community and we're also all about heritage. Stay tuned for more stories. Thank you.